It's Accountex London 2023. We are here in our special broadcasting booth with Simon Leek from Fibre CRM. Hello to you.
Hello.
Simon, how's Accountex going for you this year? You've been to a few of these.
Yeah, it's really busy. It's grown. I think we exhibited here in 2018 and it's just a huge show now.
Why do you come to Accountex, Simon?
Why? Mainly to meet other partners and to just collaborate with people, find new partners. Some very exciting things coming along.
Well, tell us about Fibre CRM and what you do in the accounting space.
So yeah, we provide CRM and onboarding software for our accounting firms, mid to large accounting firms, and that's what we've been.
You're specialists in the accounting sector, because if we think of CRM, Simon, there are other options out there, and some accounting firms use the big and the small options, but you're dedicated to the accounting space. What difference does that make in your offering?
Well, CRM is a very big generic product in the marketplace. So by focusing just on the accounting firms, we understand what accounting firm needs. So mainly around business development and marketing and onboarding and KYC and anti-money laundering. All those elements are very time-consuming for accounting firms. So we help them with their onboarding capability.
You speak to a lot of accountants all the time. Do you get that sense of overwhelm and overload, and they come to something like this, it's so difficult for them to make decisions and choices?
There's a lot of apps. There's a lot of individual apps out there. There's proposal software. There's all sorts of software out there, and there's a lot of firms still using Excel in a big way, or Microsoft Word to produce engagement letters, and navigating around all these different apps is a real challenge. And I don't think the industry is particularly helping them that much.
Well, the tech stack, the app stack, you've got a lot to say about that, because when you talk to firms about CRM, that's a strategic conversation for you, isn't it? You've got to see how that fits into everything else they're doing. Talk to us a bit about tech and app stacks.
So what we're finding when we're talking to firms is they're getting an app for a particular function within the firm, but they're not getting overall view of everything working together cohesively. So they're building up sort of all these apps. They might be using Zapier or some sort of like connector middleware tool. And they've still got Excel for their prospect lists or for their introducer lists. And they're just building up a lot of different apps. And where we've seen firms being acquired, these acquirers are seeing all these sort of different apps they're using, and it's becoming a bit of a headache for them too. So
what problems does it pose for a firm that has that patchwork quilt type approach? See a problem, get an app for it, don't think too much about how it fits into everything else.
It's visibility of just where are we at with onboarding a client, for example. It just, nothing is really working well together, so they're sort of just working blind. They might try and put reporting tools over the top of it, but again, they become very static reporting tools. They might give good insight, but they're not actionable insights. You can't sort of do something with the results that you're looking at. And that's sort of what we're trying to plug. We're trying to bring all these systems together so you can use, sort of like your anti-money laundering checking software like Credit Safe or Smart Search or ID3 Global. But the information is coming back into a central place. And that's the most important thing, is having a central place for information.
And in your writing and speaking, you talk about how CRM client relationship management or customer relationship management is not just about looking after the client. There are so many more aspects to it and so many more ways it can help a firm than just looking after the client, like you mentioned onboarding, for instance.
Onboarding is so intrinsic.
Business development.
Yeah. Well, exactly. The journey starts from an inquiry coming into the firm. Marketing might generate that inquiry, then it moves to business development. But then from there, and that's typically your CRM component, but from there, you want to produce a proposal, or you want to produce an engagement letter, you want to start the KYC process and the anti-money laundering process. And that is where the headache is for a lot of portfolio holders, the partners of the firms. Some firms, we surveyed a lot of our firms, and it'd take them around 320 minutes per client to onboard. With a proper onboarding system, that can reduce to like 100 to 160 minutes. A huge time saver.
What we're seeing in the technology space is that the firms that don't get their technology right, particularly the CRM, they lose competitiveness. They'll lose that selling value if they do get acquired. it's also stopping them from attracting talent, because the talent coming in want the best tech, and they want tech that works well together, else they're not going to work there, are they?
Well, that's right, but more so that they might buy the best tech, but they're not joined up. Exactly. So, the best tech might be Salesforce for a CRM system, but if it's not connected to your other line of business systems, like your practice management software, then you've got islands of data again, and you've got that lack of visibility and clunkiness.
You talk about islands of data, it's a lovely phrase. Nobody has more data points than an accountant, not just of their own practice, but that of their clients.
Yeah.
And so much data to manage, so many things to keep on top of. We hear a lot of the compliance versus advisory debate. How do they make sense of all of that data to help their clients make good strategic business decisions? If they have poor tech or tech that's not joined up, they're going to struggle with that.
Well, they do, and to a large degree, accountants are pretty much, they've got a lot of business anyway, so they're not too worried about where the next business is coming from.
Okay.
But it's about managing that business and providing a better quality of service to their clients.
Yeah.
So, they don't want to just blast every single client with a newsletter. They want to send something that's specific to what you might be interested in seeing. So they need to start filtering down. So let's just target our high net worth individuals, or let's target clients that haven't bought this particular service from us, rather than just bombarding everybody with everything all the time.
And those cross-selling opportunities will be shown up in a good CRM.
In a good CRM with actionable insights. So what I mean by that is, it's no good just having a report saying, oh, these people are likely to want to buy that service from you, because then what you do with that report, well, you've got to go through and grab each person. It just wastes a lot of time. You want that report to, maybe feed an email marketing platform, or put them into your call list, so that you can phone them up.
Yeah. One of the things FibreCRM does very well is, once the technology is introduced to the firm, increasing adoption, training and educating the accounting professionals who are very busy and often not bought into a new piece of software. They don't want another thing to think about, to start using that software so it becomes effective. Tell us a little bit about your philosophy there, Simon.
So, however good the tech is, if you haven't got good processes defined and people trained up with those processes, you're going to struggle. So you've got to get all those 3 points of that triangle working together. And then the one in the middle, the most important one, is the culture. There's got to be a cultural shift. Yeah. And sometimes that is a challenge for some firms. Yeah.
What excites you most about what you're doing at FibreCRM?
For us, it's just seeing clients benefiting from our system. We work with them to create this product, and then to see them raving about it, then that's what it's all about for me.
And when you say you've worked with them, do you get them involved in your research and development and shaping them?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Our product has been developed for accountants because they're the ones that have said, we need a KYC module. Yeah. We want it working with Smart Search or Credit Safe. So it's our clients that have told us what they want from our system, and then we build it out.
And we're an international broadcast here. You're an international company. You've got big penetration into the US now, haven't you?
We're doing well in the US and in Canada as well. So we're starting to build partnerships with Wolters Kluwer in the States. So we're integrating with CCH ProSystem FX. That's a good practice management system that's got maybe a slightly older technology, but we're bringing all their data into a CRM so they can actually market to that data. And they're very entrepreneurial in the US.
Yes.
And they get that they need a CRM system, and it's the heart of the firm. And so it's exciting.
And finally, Simon, what's the future of CRM for the accounting profession? We've got AI on the horizon now, and so many other things going on. The technology's changing so fast. What do you see coming up in this area?
I think a lot of these apps need to start working together much more closely, and that's what we're trying to build in. So we're not replacing a lot of these apps, but we work very closely with them, and I think that's a big thing. AI, I think it's early days. I think there's some really good AI coming out that are domain specific. Yeah. So you're not putting your really sensitive client data in the cloud into a chat GPT system. You can't do that. But if you could have something that is only built into your own environment, then I think that's the future of AI.
Terrific. Well, Simon Leek of FibreCRM, it's been great talking to you today.
And you,
Thank
Rob.
for your time.
Thank you.